Hey, Cowboys Nation, we are back. Diving deep into everything you need to know as Dallas heads out to face the Detroit Lions on the road this Thursday night. This matchup has all the ingredients for an intense showdown, and while Detroit is often seen as a favorite, the Cowboys have repeatedly shown they are a team that cannot be underestimated. Every game presents its own set of challenges, and this contest is no exception, with injuries, matchups, and strategic adjustments all playing a role. There is a lot to break down before kickoff. Fans can expect a thrilling contest where execution and adaptability will be key. Starting with Dallas, the team is entering the game with a few notable absences. Trevon Diggs and Tyler Geaton are both out, leaving gaps in the defensive lineup that will require others to step up and fill the void. Jadeveon Clowney is a game-time decision, so his participation remains uncertain until shortly before the first snap. Malik Hooker is listed as questionable, though all signs suggest he will be available. He was limited in practice, but his experience and instincts make him a critical player to watch as the Cowboys navigate Detroit's offensive schemes. The defensive unit will need to adjust quickly to compensate for missing pieces, while ensuring they remain disciplined against one of the league's most dynamic offenses. Turning to Detroit, the injury situation is extensive and has clearly influenced how they are preparing for this matchup. Key players like Kirby Joseph with a knee issue, Khalif Raymond with an ankle concern, and Brock Wright dealing with neck problems are all ruled out. The tight end position has been particularly affected, with Sam Laura struggling to maintain consistency due to injuries. Shane Zylstra on injured reserve is unavailable, and several others, including starting guard Cody Alasiga, have questionable statuses. Players such as Brian Branch and Taylor Decker practiced in a limited capacity, but are expected to play, while Amon-Ra St. Brown's participation remains uncertain. His presence or absence could significantly impact Detroit's passing attack, especially with the injuries limiting depth. These circumstances make this game a test of which team can adjust more effectively on the fly and exploit weaknesses as they appear. The matchups on both sides of the ball promise to be compelling. Dallas defense will face challenges dealing with Detroit's motion-heavy offense. The Lions have employed motion on nearly 70% of their snaps, creating confusion and opening up opportunities for significant yardage. Their efficiency in these plays is impressive, averaging close to 7 yards per motion snap, which ranks among the top in the league. For Dallas, defending against this type of offense has historically been difficult, with opponents gaining over 6 yards per snap on plays featuring pre-snap movement. The game will serve as a measuring stick for the Cowboys' ability to recognize motion, communicate effectively, and make rapid coverage adjustments. This matchup will likely determine how successful Dallas can be in slowing down one of the league's most creative offensive systems. One key battle that could shape the outcome involves Terrence Steele and Nathan Thomas going up against Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson has been dominant since returning from injury, generating pressure and creating disruption at a rate that puts him among the elite pass rushers in the NFL. Dallas' offensive line will need to coordinate chips, slide protections, and pre-snap adjustments to mitigate his impact. Dak Prescott's decision-making under pressure will be tested as he navigates the chaos Hutchinson can create in the backfield. The ability to handle pressure will influence everything from passing rhythm to run schemes, highlighting Hutchinson as a player who could define this matchup. The running game will also be critical for both teams. Detroit has had success running to the right side behind Tate Ratledge and Peniel, averaging 6 yards per carry in that area. Their left side production, while less explosive, remains above league average, demonstrating a balanced attack that requires Dallas to remain disciplined in the trenches. Javonte Williams will play a central role for the Cowboys, providing consistency and versatility in the running game. His capacity to gain yardage under pressure, read blocks, and execute decisive cuts has kept the Cowboys' offense dynamic. Maintaining offensive balance with Williams on the field allows the passing game to operate more efficiently and keeps Detroit's defenders guessing. The quarterback duel between Dak Prescott and Jared Goff adds another layer of intrigue. Both quarterbacks bring experience, precision, and high-level playmaking ability, each with a different style that will test the opposing defenses. Prescott's mobility and ability to extend plays contrasts with Goff's timing and efficiency, creating a chess match worth watching closely. Defensive schemes, including zone versus man coverage, will have a pronounced effect, especially with Detroit's injury-related rotation of receivers. This matchup could present opportunities for Dallas to exploit favorable situations in the secondary. Receivers CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens will be pivotal in stretching the field and challenging Detroit's defensive backs. The Lions' secondary has not consistently shut down opposing passing games. And with injuries to key corners, the Cowboys' playmakers have a chance to create explosive plays. Separation, route running, and timing will be essential for turning opportunities into significant gains. And their ability to win one-on-one battles could swing momentum early on the defensive side. The Cowboys will rely on their big three defensive tackles to control the line of scrimmage. Monty, Quinnen, and Kenny Clark must deliver against both the run and the pass, collapsing the pocket to give Prescott space to operate. Players like Jake Ferguson and Simone Revel will also be tasked with elevated responsibilities due to absences elsewhere. Ferguson's versatility in coverage and run support can influence key third-down situations, while Revel's ability to step up in Trevon Diggs' absence will be tested across multiple matchups in Detroit's passing game. The defensive front end secondary will need cohesion and discipline to disrupt Detroit's rhythm, create turnovers, and maintain field position. The Cowboys enter a stretch of games against teams competing for playoff positions, and consistency is critical. Execution in both run and pass scenarios will determine how effectively Dallas handles Detroit's talent and injuries. Every matchup, from the trenches to the receiving corps, will influence the flow of the game. Quick adjustments, strategic planning, and maintaining tempo will be essential in overcoming a motion-heavy offense, with skilled players capable of creating big plays. This Thursday night, fans can expect a game defined by tactical battles, individual matchups, and the team that adapts most efficiently emerging with control as the evening approaches. The offensive line matchup against Detroit's defensive front will take center stage. Several Lions players are returning from limited practices, meaning the line could present challenges in timing and pressure. Taylor Decker, Graham Glasgow, and Payne Sue have all had limited preparation, which could create opportunities for Dallas if they can quickly identify tendencies and respond in game. Establishing the run will be crucial to keeping the pass rush honest and allowing Prescott to find open receivers across all zones simultaneously. Dallas' defensive line will face a Lions rushing attack capable of exploiting either side of the formation. Right side runs have been particularly effective for Detroit, generating over 6 yards per carry, while left side runs remain productive but slightly less impactful. Maintaining gap discipline and clear pre-snap communication will be vital for linebackers and defensive tackles alike. Javonte Williams' motion and blocking could influence how the Lions attempt to open lanes, and reading these tendencies will be essential for the Cowboys' defensive unit. With Trevon Diggs out, Savoni Revel will be asked to take on expanded coverage responsibilities. Detroit's passing game may lean on slot and outside receivers, depending on St. Brown's availability, which could create opportunities for Dallas to exploit coverage mismatches. Defensive coordinators will need to balance zone and man coverage to contain Detroit's threats, making adjustments rapidly as the game unfolds. As the game progresses, all eyes will be on Dak Prescott, who must manage not only the Lions' defensive pressure but also the rhythm of his own offense. Prescott's ability to read the defensive front, make quick decisions, and deliver the ball accurately under duress will be paramount. The timing between him and his wide receivers, especially CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, must be impeccable to exploit gaps in the Lions' secondary. With Detroit's injuries limiting depth and rotation options, Dallas has an opportunity to attack mismatches and push the ball downfield. The quarterback's mobility, poise in the pocket, and capacity to extend plays with his legs will determine whether the Cowboys can maintain offensive balance while keeping the Lions off guard. Javonte Williams continues to play a central role in controlling the game's tempo. His running ability is not only measured by yards per carry, but by his impact on the defense's alignment, consistently gaining 5 yards per attempt against Detroit's formidable interior line is crucial for sustaining drives and setting up the passing game. Williams' vision, patience, and decisive cuts create opportunities for receivers to operate in open space, which forces linebackers to hesitate and defensive backs to choose between run support and pass coverage. His contribution is the kind that quietly shapes the game, opening doors for explosive plays that can swing momentum in favor of Dallas. Meanwhile, the Cowboys' offensive line faces a testing assignment against Detroit's dynamic front seven. The Lions' ability to bring pressure from multiple angles and disguise blitzes creates challenges in both protection schemes and timing. Every snap becomes a mini chess match, with Prescott needing precise communication with his line to anticipate shifts and stunts. The coordination between the quarterback, running backs, and linemen will be critical for sustaining drives and keeping the offense fluid. Missteps in timing or technique could allow Detroit to disrupt the rhythm, forcing hurried throws or limiting opportunities for deeper passes. Defensively, the Cowboys must maintain gap integrity and communicate effectively pre-snap to counter Detroit's motion-heavy approach. Nearly 70% of the Lions' plays include movement before the snap, which can manipulate matchups and open holes in coverage. Dallas linebackers and secondary will need to read keys quickly and adjust responsibilities on the fly to prevent the offense from gaining an advantage. Monty, Quinnen, and Kenny Clark must dominate the interior line, both against the run and in collapsing the pocket, to allow Prescott time and create disruption for Jared Goff. This balance between attacking the run and pressuring the quarterback is essential to keep Detroit from establishing momentum. Savoni Revel's role has expanded due to Trevon Diggs' absence, requiring him to cover multiple zones and anticipate routes effectively. Detroit may pivot to slot receivers or outside targets depending on who is available, meaning Dallas' defensive communication and alignment must be precise. Any breakdown could result in big plays, so constant attention to detail is necessary. Defensive adjustments must be quick and strategic, balancing the need to pressure Goff while containing receivers capable of explosive gains. Every decision made by the secondary and linebackers could influence the game's rhythm, making situational awareness a defining factor. The matchup between CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens versus Detroit's weakened secondary could prove decisive. Both receivers have shown the ability to create separation consistently, and their precision in route running and timing with Prescott allows for high percentage opportunities if they can exploit gaps in zone coverage or win one-on-one matchups. The Cowboys will be in a strong position to generate points and sustain offensive drives. Their impact is not just measured in yards or touchdowns, but in how they force defenders to respect their presence, opening lanes for other skilled players and creating confusion in the Lions' secondary. Turnovers will also play a crucial role in determining the outcome. Detroit's motion-heavy offensive strategy carries a risk of miscommunication, which Dallas can exploit with disciplined reads and sharp reactions. Safeties and cornerbacks must stay alert, anticipate routes, and communicate pre-snap adjustments efficiently. Forced errors can swing momentum instantly, especially in a game where every possession is critical. On the flip side, Prescott's decision-making under pressure will influence the Cowboys' ability to sustain drives, convert third downs, and respond to any turnovers the defense creates. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. In a move that has already set the rumor mills spinning across the league, Jordan Love didn't hold back when asked about the Cowboys, and the reaction is reverberating through locker rooms and social media alike. Sources close to the quarterback hint that his comments were far from subtle, leaving teammates, fans, and rivals scrambling to interpret just what he meant. While players often tiptoe around talking about other teams, Love reportedly called the Cowboys a weak squad, a remark that has ignited speculation about both his mindset and potential future storylines. The timing of Love's statement only fuels the intrigue. Coaches and analysts alike are now dissecting whether this is a strategic psychological tactic or simply a candid expression of frustration. Those familiar with Love's personality suggest he thrives on speaking his mind, and his boldness has been part of his identity since he first entered the league. Some insiders suggest that his comments could reflect genuine confidence in his own team's abilities, or perhaps a subtle warning that he's not afraid to challenge the status quo. As expected, the Cowboys organization has remained tight-lipped, but whispers indicate that the locker room atmosphere is a mix of disbelief and motivation. Veteran players reportedly have a "we'll see about that" attitude, while younger members of the squad might be feeling extra pressure to prove themselves. Across fan forums, reactions range from outrage to amusement, with some calling Love's words disrespectful, while others see it as just another layer of the drama that makes the league so captivating. What this will mean in the long term remains anyone's guess. Will this spark an intense rivalry that dominates headlines for weeks? Could it affect team dynamics or even future trades? One thing is certain: Jordan Love has made waves, and the Cowboys or anyone paying attention will be watching closely to see if actions match words. In the world of sports, a single bold comment can ripple far beyond the locker room, shaping narratives, fan debates, and the gossip that keeps sports media buzzing, rumor or reality. The league is alive with speculation, and Jordan Love's fearless remark about the Cowboys has guaranteed that all eyes are on him. And what happens next? That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.